Happy March, happy life, happy everyone, and welcome to the corner store. Hopefully you got your popcorn, your annihilators, and your big gulp together. We're coming to you with another episode of some of Glenville's favorite sons at the corner store. We have Mr. Micah King, Edmund Richardson, and Kelly Murphy. What it do, fellas?
Hey, what's going on?
What's
happening? All right, so if it's your first time tuning into the Corner Store, we're actually broadcasting to our Facebook page, the Corner Store Podcast, where it's a group of fellas that grew up in big old Glenville, Georgia, and we just kind of like let you guys in on our group chat. These are some of the things we talk about throughout the week and want to educate the masses with things on paper and politics, some of the trending topics, as well as sports and some comedy as well. We have two more guests that may be joining us. Hopefully, Roderick will join us shortly to talk about what were they thinking. That's one of our new favorite segments of the show. But before we get into that, paper and politics. We have two of the top politicians I've come across in my lifetime, that I know personally anyway, Mr. Micah King and Edmund Richardson. Paper and politics, man, are they going to get rid of TikTok from the kids, man? Or what's going on with that?
What you think, Edmund?
Hey, well, right now, the House passed it overwhelmingly in a bipartisan way. But right now, the Senate is like putting the brakes on the bill right now because there's not enough support in the Senate right now. Actually, the chair of the committee that will hear this bill, former staffers work for TikTok. They're lobbyists for TikTok. But the question is, many experts are saying, we're just looking at TikTok right now, but some people say that Facebook and Google collects more data on their users than TikTok does. And then the people on the side of getting rid of TikTok says that is a national security issue, that they're collecting this data. Part of the company is owned by China, and that is a threat to our national security. So, in my humble opinion, I think we need to take a holistic approach. If it's a national security issue, we need to look at all of our social media sites to see if they are prone to share information that could be detrimental to our survival or to our national security. And that's where I stand right now. I want to look at it holistically and not just on TikTok. And I think right now it's in a political season, so everybody wants to one up the other person. Right now, Trump is against banning TikTok when he issued an executive order when he was president to ban it, just like this bill is banning it. So it's so hypocritical. And everybody right now is using it as a political football versus really getting into the weeds of things to really look at to see what effects does it have on our national security.
Gotcha. Yeah. Before you opine, Edmund, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, the House in Congress just passed a bill to ban TikTok. I'm going to play a quick little video to bring you up to speed on what's going on. This is one of the top creators I follow, and she's pretty in tune with everything from legislation to what's going on from a federal standpoint and a state standpoint. So I'll add her to the show.
Committee voted today to adopt the bill that would ban TikTok. Though they continue to say this is not a TikTok ban. They say it's a Chinese divestment bill. So let me give you the rundown of what they said and what happens next. Several members of the committee said that they don't support an outright TikTok ban. They understand that kids like to watch their dancing videos, with Congressman Dan Crenshaw saying, and this isn't because we're old and we don't know how to use the technology. We know that you use it for your business and for your assembly. But in 1999, someone in China said that they wouldn't use the military to defeat America. They would come at us another way. And he is insinuating that they are coming at us through TikTok. He also said that any entity that could manipulate the American people into madness should be stopped. And so I am very much looking forward to his comments on Fox News and Facebook. The committee believes that China will just hand over TikTok and divest it from ByteDance. Not only will they hand over the platform, but they will hand over the algorithm and the source code. Congressman Pallone from New Jersey said he's going to add something to the bill that makes sure you can download all of your data from TikTok, and then you can just move all your videos and pictures to another app if you need to. He called TikTok a media company and said that it needs to be treated like a media company, and we don't allow foreign adversary media companies to operate in the United States. He then admitted that this legislation will not stop foreign companies from buying our data from a million other places. So now this bill will head out to big Congress to be voted on. So it's not over yet. We still have some time.
And this worked. Congressman Crenshaw mentioned that there was a petition going around.
All right, guys. So we heard what she said, and I'm in total agreement with her. There are other companies, like Evan stated before, about them gathering our data and selling off our data. And there's other means of they want to spy on us. They're probably already doing it through other means. It seems like our priorities are out of whack. We can ban TikTok, but we can't ban assault rifles or other things that need to be taken a closer look at. So, Michael, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, kind of in agreement with Edmund. I mean, you look at TikTok and just isolate TikTok, but you can do the same things on Facebook and Instagram and all these things. So the manipulation is not just with the gathering the data, it's also spreading false information, which they've done during the past few election cycles on Facebook, spreading false information, spreading a lot of misinformation. During COVID, spreading a lot of misinformation, and people taking and run with it. So it's not just the data that's the issue, it's also what's being spread out there. And so you can't just isolate TikTok and say, you know, we'll demonize that app, but we won't do anything with Facebook, Instagram, or some of the other ones that's out there. So yeah, you gotta look at everything. And Google is a huge. If we're talking about gathering data and using data against us, Google is, I mean, probably should be the top target, honestly.
I totally agree. And we shall see. And the other downside to that, Kelly, I don't know if there's anything you want to add to it, but I was just going to leave with, there are a lot of businesses and creators that are on there that utilize TikTok now that have set up their livelihoods based on them being able to get awareness and exposure out there through digital presence like TikTok. Some of them only have TikTok and they're generating millions of dollars with that. So if they were to ban TikTok, I've read somewhere where it could eliminate 300,000 jobs of people who use TikTok to generate their income and their livelihoods.
And that's the reason why I don't think they're going to ban it. I think what they're pushing for right now is for the stake that China has in the company for them to divest it. And so I think they'll go that route first before they ban it, because they know it will be, you know, these kids don't pay attention to nothing else. They pay attention to social media. And so if you want to anger one of the groups of voters that you want to get to the polls, then ban TikTok. So TikTok will not be banned. I feel comfortable saying that. The whole issue now is how do they get China from being a owner of the platform? That's what we're going to be debating.
Yeah, definitely. And I saw where the CEO came in and said China has nothing to do with it, but the mother company of TikTok is ByteDance.
Yes.
And they're located in China. Singapore is actually in Asia. So,
and I think by law, China has to share certain data from their businesses to the government. And I think that's the issue.
Right. It's just the transparency piece of it. Looks like TikTok is more transparent than Meta and all of them. And then, not to be conspiratorial or conspiracy theorists with it, I also think Meta and Google are lobbying for Congress to ban TikTok so they can attract all of those users for that.
Right.
Because I mean, if you can't do Facebook videos, then TikTok videos, and you're gonna turn to Facebook Reels or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, which is basically the same technology, just on their platform. So it's possible.
Right. And welcome to the show, Slick King in the building, Mr. What are they thinking?
What up? I'm struggling technology wise.
Well, he sound like he cool with banning TikTok. You want to ban TikTok, Slick?
Man, they gonna ban it, but it ain't gonna happen because they gonna sell it. They gonna sell the company.
Don't get on here like Nancy Pelosi talking about tic-tac-toe.
But hey, now here's one thing.
First of all, that to me, that it's other things that they need to be worried about other than TikTok. AI is dangerous, bro. That's what they need to be worried about.
But here's the thing. You're right. There needs to be some parameters put on AI. I was just using it today. Let me tell you, AI, either you're going to get with the program or you're not, right? AI can be used for good and it can be used for bad, right? I just used it. I tried it out today grading essays, right? I put in my rubric. I put in my prompt. And then I copied and pasted over the students' writing, and this thing gave them feedback. I'm talking about detailed feedback. I graded 60 essays in an hour. Damn. So that is some of the good side of it. But what we have to do is we have to cultivate it in a way where we still stay true to teaching kids how to write, teaching kids how to do the things that they need to do. Because if we allow them to type, that's why I make my kids write everything by hand, because I still want you to know the fundamentals of writing and doing those things. But if we don't, now AI will be writing essays, but we got to figure out how to prevent that. But it can be a source of good.
Yeah, but ain't you plagiarism that teacher?
Huh?
Ain't what you had? Something ain't right about what you doing, that teacher. Ain't that cheating or something?
No, it's really not. I tried it out. I tried it out for the first time, but here's what I did. I went back and I read over all of the feedback that it gave me. And it was spot on. It's stuff that I would have said, like in their essay.
Oh, but you didn't cite it. You didn't cite it. I guarantee you didn't cite it on your paper, on the grading paper.
I sure did. Because I wanted to say
so you cheated.
I ain't cheating. I'm using a resource. I'm using a resource. That gives kids good feedback, and it gave them good feedback.
Y'all teach about that plagiarizing.
I'm a big proponent of AI, and I use it daily. And it's more of an instructional piece, more for creativity, more for brainstorming. Roger, when was the last time you used Siri?
Shit, been a minute.
When last time you used Alexa?
Been a minute, be honest with you.
When last time you used a GPS on your phone?
Just from minutes ago.
No, I got one. Hey, Shannon, I got one. When the last time you used autocorrect on your phone?
All the time. I can't spell.
That's AI. So that's exactly like that corrects you. That'll give Edmonds the ability to correct the students, but at a faster rate and time. Yeah. Now there are some downsides.
So the reason why I'm messing with Edmund on that is because I didn't get my master's degree in social work because they ran me out of that particular arena. They were obsessed about getting credit for the information that they come up with or they claim to come up with. So in that particular area of concentration, when you have free thinking and you happen to, let's say, think the same as somebody 100 years ago, if I don't cite it, I'm considered plagiarized. So what I was doing was being a little picky with Edmund about, he said that would have been the same thing I would have said. Well, in academia, that is still considered plagiarism.
But see, here's the thing with mine. So what I do is I had to upload the prompt that I use, and then I had to create my own rubric for how I would grade it. So basically what it did for me was, instead of me having to sit there and grade every paper with that specific rubric, it actually took what I did, my rubric, and applied it to each paper. I would have did
the same thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was just messing with you. I would have did the same thing. I thought that shit was smart. You know what I'm saying? I encourage my kids to use Google. You got a whole fucking computer in your hand, and you gonna come home with a C, or you gonna ask me a question? Bruh. You better go Google that. Go Google. Give you all help. Show you how to do the work.
Bro, how many of us would have been valedictorian, salutatorian?
Damn. Hey, I'd have been standing there with Leslie Ron.
Here's the bigger thing. Here's the bigger thing.
Hey,
But
with my yellow on and everything.
But you hitting on a bigger issue, and I know everybody like to bring, say we always bring up racing, but see, AI can level the playing field because see, oftentimes many of those our white counterparts had encyclopedias and had all the resources at their disposal. This right here, because everybody got a computer in their hand or their phone or anything else, you have everything at your disposal to be the best student you can be through Google, through AI, through all these other things that we didn't have access to when before this type of stuff.
This panel right here, you may be the only one that didn't grow up in. You may be the only one that didn't grow up with encyclopedias in your immediate house, but I guarantee you, your aunt had some and your grandma had some.
Oh no, they did. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people didn't have people that's like, okay, I had access. I can go to my aunt's house or my grandma's house and use it. But a lot of people didn't have access to that. You see what I'm saying? That lived where I live.
Y'all be making a lot of excuses for our color folks.
No, I ain't making excuses, but it's real though, man. I see it every day. It's real. Even if the priorities are misplaced, it's real. Kids,
you know what AI did?
Huh?
You know what AI did? It made it easier to cheat. Everybody doing it.
No, because see, there's a backdoor to even catching the cheaters on AI if you know how to use it correctly.
Man, bro, hey, Chattanooga County ain't catching nobody. Some of them schools in Atlanta ain't catching nobody. You know what I'm saying? Come on, hey, bro. So let me tell you. So my daughter's, real smart kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about to the point where we have like grown-up conversations at 13. So one day she wrote a paper on, I can't remember what it was, but it was a good topic. It was about, it was a pretty high school level paper. So as I'm bragging about this paper, a couple of days after she turned it in and told me about the paper, she told me, yeah, AI helped me write some of it. She 13 in the 7th grade. Is she already using AI? What you think gonna happen when she get to high school?
But bro,
y'all might change the curriculum. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Roger, what they're teaching us now is to prepare for that. Just what you're just talking about, where we can go in and we can evaluate papers based on, AI. That's the reason why there's ways around it too. That's the reason why I still teach my kids the mechanics of writing, and then they have to write it by hand. And then what I'm going to start doing next year is I'm going to still make you write it by hand because AI helps me grade fast, and I'm going to have you transcribe it into your computer. I'll give you like 10 minutes to transcribe what you wrote in your computer. So
what do you write, Emmett?
Huh?
Tell me on a daily basis, what do you write?
What do I write? I write a lot of, I actually take my notes and stuff when I read by hand. I'm still old school in that respect.
Micah, ain't you an accountant?
I'm typing everything.
Okay. Hey, ain't you a social worker, a human resource guy down there in the corner? K-Rock.
It's the man right here.
You still handwrite notes?
Yep. I still handwrite notes.
But here's the thing, Roderick. I'm not against the use of technology. What I'm saying is we still got to teach these kids the fundamentals so that they know how to write, because that's key even when you're typing. If you're not careful, what I see in kids that are not equipped, they type like they talk. They don't have correct grammar. They don't know how to diagram sentences and those things that we came up with. And so I'm not saying AI is bad, or using a computer or technology is bad. Is that we still have to teach those fundamentals so that they just don't get so wedded to technology that they forget the fundamentals to make them decent writers or decent communicators.
And I kind of agree with you. What I'll say is the school needs an overhaul. All right, you need to catch up with the time. We do not write. The most I write is my signature. All right, I can't even read my handwriting when I'm taking notes. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there most of the time trying to decipher what I try to write. we need to change that curriculum, you know, and I think it needs to be a little bit more updated. Most of us use technology. Most of us need to learn how to use technology. That's where I see in my field is that a lot of times we don't know how to use technology to assist us in, you know, certain things. Like how many classes you probably done took in Excel? How many of y'all know how to do Excel products? I done took 6 classes.
I haven't taken an Excel class since Tappan County High School.
Yeah, I use it pretty regularly, but bro, they've implemented AI into Excel. Say like today, my son's track team, they got food sign up. They wrote it all on a piece of paper, and I'm like, how are we gonna keep up with that if it's only one piece of paper? So I took a picture of it, went to Google Gemini and said, hey, create me a spreadsheet with the names and the food providers and the events and the dates that it needed. 30 seconds later, bro, spreadsheet.
Wow. Man, wow. I'm about to use that at work.
Hey, you need to ship that over to me. I need to learn that.
Yeah, like I actually teach. Like I went to his class, to his school for a PTA meeting, and they're so far gone. They're doing stuff from the early 2000s, 90s, and 80s. And I was like, if you guys don't get up to speed, you're gonna get left behind because other schools, especially the STEM schools, are already diving deep into AI. So y'all are gonna be trying to play catch up, and now your kids aren't gonna be able to keep up with those kids. So if you don't get right with AI, you're gonna get left behind if you don't use it.
And it's
AI isn't gonna take your job, it's people using AI.
And there's no excuse in our community because every kid got a cell phone, a smartphone. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Them kids know how to do that stuff. Trust me, I'm speaking on. I'm not going. Let's put it like this here. At the highest levels of education, that AI is assisting kids getting degrees right now.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Me, I look at the highest levels.
Yeah, I look at it as there is a downside to AI with the deep fakes and the voiceovers and creating people's faces and all that.
Did you see the picture of both the presidents sitting on the beach together?
Donald Trump.
Yeah, like I can take our voice. This is the other thing that's scary. Like we post our podcast and they're out in the public domain on social media. Now people can take our voice and dub our voice and type to text to sound or text to voice and then call people using our voice.
Wow.
So the scammers are going to be like one step ahead of us when it comes to that type of stuff. It just...
I'm going to get fired on this thing. Huh?
Nah, I don't think you get fired. I've actually... I do consultations on AI, and a lot of people use it now. They think they're the smartest people on the job. Their peers think they're the smartest.
So, you can use it to write emails and everything, man.
Oh yeah. Automation, like
speeches, bios. I wrote a lot of people's bios, and they're like, "Man, you're such a good writer."
You probably can't even download that on a government computer.
Resumes, all of that. But last thing I'll say is AI is to help expedite the retention of learning. I know, I mean, you can say you make your kids write, which is a good thing because the studies have shown that retention and memory is 60% higher when kids are writing.
That's why I make them do it. I make them do it.
Yep. So that must
see, I teach a college level course, and you need to retain that information so you're prepared, especially for that college exam year.
Tell me what you teach.
AP Government and Politics.
How do I know that?
All right, moving on to the next subject. Oh, last Sunday. It was a showdown in the SEC women's basketball. LSU versus South Carolina came down to the end, and there was a fight. A brouhaha broke out at the end. It was I didn't see any white chairs out there, so that's a good thing. No folding chairs. But Kelly, what was your initial thought and assessment of that fight?
I ain't have a problem with it.
Awesome.
What music? What music on the phone?
We done?
I think he might have a delay.
Who, Kelly?
You hear some music?
No, it's cut off now. That was the transition music, man. We're trying to update our stuff like Club Shay Shay in the nightcap.
I still hear it.
You know, we still at the corner store, though. Y'all from the in-house.
Nah, I didn't have a problem with it, man. I mean, I guess the only problem I had with the brother coming over. But other than that, I didn't have a problem with it, man. I thought it was, you know, they just competed. You know, tempers got high. You know, pushing and shoving. Same thing that happened in the men's game. So I really didn't have a problem with it at all.
You know who I blame?
Ooh.
I blame the refs, and I'm gonna tell you why. The refs saw that them kids were playing pretty physical. They had plenty of time to get control of that game. And anytime that the game gets out of control and the kid acts out, it's always the kid problem. But the ref's job is to control the game. That was not the first incident. They were throwing elbows. Reese and Cordova was in there, damn near body blocking each other. You know, so to me, I blame the refs. They lost control of the game. You know what I'm saying? This game was over with by that time right there. It was an intentional foul. It was gonna get 2 shots. Now Cordova, I don't know what her problem was. She was probably a little upset, but she pushed that girl a little too damn hard. You know what I'm saying? Old boy, he need to go to jail. It was no reason for him to jump down there on that field. None whatsoever.
Now let me ask you this: if that was your sister and you saw that, would you react out of impulse?
No.
I
mean,
I've seen my son a couple months ago get elbowed in the jaw, and I did not flinch. You know why? First of all, my son is gonna take care of himself. Second of all, when you cross into that line, it can become a dangerous situation where people coming out of the stands. In a basketball game we used to fight in football games, but at least they had a little fence to kind of hold people back. In a basketball game, it is none of that. That thing can get out of hand, and you talk about 100 people swinging. And I just don't think that a fan needs to be on the court. Parent, if your kid foul and hurt themselves, let the coaches go out there and get your kid. You don't need to run out there and go grab him. Stay off the court.
And Roger is correct. That's what happened. Y'all remember the big showdown at the Palace?
Yeah.
And it just turned, it was very chaotic, and it could have easily went left. And he had no business. Those were women down on the court. Why are you jumping down there?
Yeah, I think he reacted out of impulse. Like, I don't condone it, but in the heat of the moment, I think he just jumped up and got out there. And then he got out there like, dang, she big. What the hell I'm doing out here? So it was just mainly out of impulse. But yeah, I don't condone that.
He embarrassed himself. He embarrassed his sister.
Yeah. That's the
and
genocide.
If you look at Shannon, did you watch First Take with Shannon and
Skip?
They tried to justify that guy. You know, and I think that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? He had no business. I don't care, sister, brother, whatever. He had no business out there on that court. His sister got pushed. Okay.
He didn't. I mean,
you act like somebody stopped there across the head with a chair. You know, that's different circumstances. But this was in the heat of the battle, and I'm pretty sure that's not the first time that little girl got into a little fisticuff.
Yeah.
I guarantee you one. Hey, you ball, I guarantee you.
Yeah. He was in the line of sight. If you look at some of the replays, it was another lady's face was like, and then he just hopped right up and went. So I've even caught myself.
He was the only one that made it. It was 2 other guys that got stopped.
Yeah. I don't condone it or justify anything. I just think he blacked out. Because I've had to catch myself. My son got slapped in the face in flag football, and I was getting ready to go out there, and I had to think about it. So,
and when your face flashed across my who is this dude, I would have snitched on your ass. So that's Shannon. That's Shannon Howard. Lock his ass up for 24 hours. Yeah. Yeah. You should stay off the field.
Don't be a Steven on me, Roger.
Yep. He used to stay down here. This is mama, his daddy. He's somewhere in Jacksonville. Get it.
The whole family history.
And I was like Samuel Jackson. Yeah, I slapped him. I'll do it again.
Yeah, down today. Get you one of them orange jumpsuits while you thinking about it.
Oh man, moving on to the next topic, NFL. And speaking of jumpsuits, I know we're gonna tap into the free agency and all that shortly, and the draft. But speaking of jumpsuits, our homeboy stirred up the social media again with the green sweatsuit. And a lot of content creators came out and I can't lie, I was laughing too.
I was laughing.
They came out and drug him.
Rich people do too much, bro.
Yeah. So you think he's doing too much, or it's just
his style is doing too much. That was a full purse, man. I don't care what y'all say, man bag. That was a full purse.
They call it a merce.
Yeah, come on, bro. They doing too much, man. Too much money. They got stylists. Most of the stylists are kind of sweet, and they dressing these guys sweet. You know what I'm saying? So,
then everybody will start like that. But I know Total Wine.
So he
say he's making that money. He don't care what y'all say.
Yeah, he's like in this video. He's talking about how he's benefited off of it, and he want more creators to recreate that.
And then he said he made more, and I went and looked. I found it. He made more off the Cat Williams interview than he's made as his highest salary in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I got it, but that still don't take away that big ass orange purse he got on.
So you want to carry a man bag like that, bro?
No, not like that, bro. It had to be black. You know, I would have had a black one, half the size, probably thrown. He had it thrown a little bit like, I don't know. He did have it across his body. I would have wore mine across my body, but I can't remember if he had it on his shoulder. You know?
Roger, you'd rather for him to have those little pouches we used to wear back in the day.
Yeah, man. What? Man, they still trying to get me to wear that.
I got a little. I call it a bag. I have a few crossbody bags, but not like that. That's too big and loud.
Man, y'all them new Metro.
Yeah.
I ain't going no further. I ain't going no further. Who?
Roger, don't you got one? Didn't you say you just had
no,
one?
I said I wouldn't wear one.
The fanny pack.
Probably about that big. Enough for me to put my credit cards in. That's about it.
Okay, I got
so what say you, Mike? That too metrosexual for your taste, or
yeah,
man bag?
Nah, me and Shannon got the same issue. Really, our shoulders too wide to be rocking a purse.
Yeah, I think they were more on him about the whole get up, like the orange bag, then the tight suit, and then he got 2 hip replacements, so that don't make him stand and walk.
And his clothes super tight. You know what I'm saying? Shannon clothes super tight. You know, he got the muscles, and then he got that big coach purse on his back. Come on, bro.
Yeah, come on. He's had a lot going on.
He's like this.
I'm tired. Gotta get to the thing. No,
that's my dog though. He on top of the game. He recently won the iHeart Sports Award for the best podcast, complex best personality. So he's changing the game. I recently saw the interview with Steve Stout, and they really changed it up to more like a documentary style type podcast. And I haven't seen anyone else doing that, so he's really, really stepping up the game and setting the bar for other podcasts.
Man, Shannon doing his thing. Shannon building an empire.
Yeah.
I just said,
I thought that was a good interview too.
I just said that you can't let everybody dress you. That's all.
Yeah, he fired Hollywood. The little stylist he had, he went back to Shelly, I think her name is.
You see Hollywood going down too, ain't you? Old boy just got another case. What the name? With Biggie Smalls. Diddy just got another case. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood ain't all that, bro. Not if you. Let me put it like this, man. If if I got to dress like that, if I got to wear a purse,
Well,
fluffy
before you go further, his past stylist name was Hollywood. The little guy.
So yeah, he had a little stylist named Hollywood.
Yeah.
he probably in Hollywood for a reason. You know what I'm saying? He too flashy. You know what I'm saying? That. I ain't saying the man. I'm put like this here, man. If I went and got me a green Walmart sweatsuit, and then I come through Glenville with my wife's purse on, y'all think I'm crazy.
No, I just say keeping up with the times, bro.
All right, then. I'm gonna go get me a medium. I'm gonna get me a medium damn blue, and I'm gonna wear my white Coach purse, and I'm gonna just take a couple pictures. Y'all gonna be straight fun.
Guy too, though, man. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all gonna be straight fun.
I mean, so
nah, bro, don't come to Glenville wearing that. I want to see you go to Atlanta wearing that.
Nah. I might fit right in when I'm in Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Yes, y'all be giving us a bad rap. It ain't. All right, man. Please, y'all don't.
Dude, ain't no y'all. It's y'all. Yeah, y'all.
Emma got a purse.
No, I don't. Hey, you won't never see me with one of them on.
Oh my god.
Hey, with the Gucci belt and purse.
And a lot of these kids, like in the schools, a lot of these kids wearing it. That's the style now, man. They wearing the Gucci purses, or they call them Gucci bags, and they wearing it, man. But that ain't something I'm buying in my house.
My wife gave my son one. He sports that shit. The one in college. Yeah, he sports this little Coach something.
A lot of them, that's the thing. That's the thing. But see, I don't raise my kids be on all
just
that,
like when parachute pants came out. Tell me you ain't have none of those. See that? That's what I thought.
Who had a pair? All y'all had a pair of parachute pants.
I had some with all the zippers on.
I sure did. I had some of them.
I went to the 8th grade dance with me. No, I bought mine, but I didn't wear them. It was me, Russell, and Joseph Smith. Joseph wore his. Me and Russell didn't wear ours because we was in there at Hammer.
Oh,
you remember Hammer had them damn blue pants?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kelly didn't. Youngie Posse, your dance.
Kelly had about 5 pair though.
I had me a black and white pair. I remember too.
Yep. Hey, what was that store that sold them downtown?
Li.
It was Li.
Yeah. Li.
You know what it was.
Li was for the.
I did borrow a pair of yours one time. You know what it was.
Hey, I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't think I've ever bought anything out of Li.
Oh yeah, because y'all
was. No, come on.
Li was for the poor people, and Lips's was for y'all high class black folks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't think I ever had. I mean, what's the name?
You ain't never had the Easter suit, shirt, and tie that came with the tie, that clip on.
Nah, bro. I either got my clothes from Sally Dutton. Y'all remember her?
Yeah, we went to Sally Dutton. Right across from IGA.
If I bought clothes in Glenville, it came from Sally Dutton, and it was. Remember, she had all the duck head.
Yeah, duck head.
And
pants and shirts.
And Lipsis. I don't remember going to LI, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't saying I ain't never had nothing out of there. I just don't remember having somebody taking me to LI, sizing me up, putting me in going up there and pay for it. I can't remember that.
I went school shopping there a few times, so man, I already know.
When you run shopping in a couple, I ain't had no choice. You
ain't have no choice.
Yeah, but back to the NFL free agency, and the NFL draft is upon us. But free agency, man, Atlanta signed Kirk Cousins, which is a big disappointment. He only has one playoff appearance.
One win.
I hate Atlanta.
MVP. Kirk Cousins' agent is the MVP, bro.
He is.
He signed $100 million with 50 guarantee.
Yep.
Yeah, the contract before that was like 80 something.
And many people are trying to justify saying that it's only it's 2-year guarantee. They got to out in the 3rd year of the contract, but still, Kirk Cousins coming off an major Achilles injury, and then you paying him that amount of money. But he does have a lot of weapons, so hopefully, they do well. But Atlanta, to me, is always going to Atlanta.
I think he's gonna look good.
Relationships, though. It's all about the relationships there, man. I mean, he was with Raheem Morris in Washington, along with the offensive coordinator. So they're just bringing their people in, man. I mean, I was kind of disappointed they didn't take a shot at Justin Fields, but
come to find out, and see, this is what I don't like about the national media. He wasn't on the market right now. They haven't even made a concerted effort to trade him, because I still think they're in between. They don't know if they want to take Caleb Williams over Justin right now. And
Caleb Williams don't want to go to Chicago. Huh? Caleb Williams don't want to go to Chicago.
And I wouldn't want to go there either, because of, my thing is you done messed up this man's numbers and stats, because and I don't think it's a fair comparison of what Justin has been able to do in Chicago. As a person who's watched Chicago, because I followed him there. The first year of he didn't even take any reps with the first team all training camp. He was thrust into the game against the Browns, where he got sacked at a record rate. No game plan for him. Later in the season, he began to play. Everybody saw on national television where he played against the Steelers, and they showed he displayed his skills, came back, but the team lost it with a crazy penalty. But then the next year, they stripped down the entire team, traded away their 2 best defenders, Roquan Smith, to the Ravens, and then you traded away back to Los Angeles. You stripped down your defense. This guy was putting up record numbers in the last 6 games of the season. If he had a competent defense, his record would be better than what it is right now. But we see the national guys, I just hate how they just look at stats and they don't look at how he played. That guy kept them in games. Everybody saw that game that didn't get national attention, where he played the Dolphins, pretty much beat them by himself. But it was just too much firepower for him to do by himself, because the defense couldn't maintain the game. And so for them to say that, and then coming into this year, the guy played lights out until he got injured. The first 2 games, they went back to trying to make him Aaron Rodgers, but when they developed the game plan for his skill set, when he went off and said he feels like they're overcoaching him and not making things simple, after they changed the game plan, he went on a winning streak. And then 3 of the games he should have won, but bad coaching. So they would have been 10-7 this year, but for bad coaching, they ended the season, what was 8-9 or something like that, or 7-10 or something like that. So my thing is, the guy hasn't gotten a bad rap, but whoever gets him, they're gonna get a steal. The kid can play.
Hey, Michael, what was the dumbest signing during this short free agency?
The dumbest signing?
Yeah.
Shoot, I think Atlanta got 2 of them.
Who else did they sign?
Darnell Mooney.
They signed Darnell Mooney for like $39 million.
$30 million. I wouldn't have done that.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
You could have got the guy out of Washington. You could have got the guy out of Washington that just signed with the Bills for $30 million.
Yeah.
Hey, the dumbest signing is 2, really. One is smart it's kind of smart, but it's still dumb. Russell Wilson went on, he went to Pittsburgh. That's my number 2. He went to Pittsburgh, but they got him for a bargain price. All right. But that joke is done. All right. But the boy from the Pats going down to the Jaguars.
Quarterback. That was stupid. Mac Jones.
I don't understand that at all.
I understand it because it's more of a sentimental draft than an actual value draft. He's from Jacksonville. He went to Bowles High School. He was Mr. Football. He won state championships at Bowles. So it's more of a sentimental draft more than a value draft.
So you think he gonna bring tickets? You think he gonna bring some tickets in sitting on the bench with a cap on?
I don't think he will, but it sounds good to market it. Like he can bring value to the businesses around here.
But see,
that's one of the future Hall of Famers as your quarterback.
But he's a good insurance
He's
policy
gonna be a
too.
backup.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Trevor Lawrence ain't looked too good last year, bro.
He ain't looked
Like
too
the year
good.
before, he had a decent year, but he made it harder than what it should have been. A lot of those games they lost was because of his turnovers. Last year was mainly because of his turnovers.
That comes with confidence. You know what I'm saying? Turnovers come with confidence because you think people don't remember when Brett Favre used to be with the Falcons.
Yeah,
Brett
they traded
Favre
him away.
would turn the ball over all the time. Why? Because he was confident. He thought he could get that ball in. That's the problem people have with Jameis Winston. To me, Jameis Winston is to me, he's a steal of the draft because he's a quality quarterback. You just got to control him a little bit. You know, by telling him, look, you hurting us with these turnovers. You can't squeeze, you can't win every time. You got to learn to throw it to your running back or throw it away. You know what I'm saying? And Jameis, he in his mind, he's saying, I can get it there. And then next thing you know, he in trail mode trying to make a tackle because he done turned the ball over. You know, but
That's the problem though, right?
Jameis say somebody gonna catch it.
If you turn the ball over, you can't play. I mean,
yeah.
whether you got confidence or not, you know, whether you got the arm talent or not. If you turn the ball over, you ain't gonna be in the game.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
You put those stats up. They don't say, "Oh yeah, that was a confident turnover right there."
Where you going to Cleveland?
A pick. Yeah, he going to Cleveland. I agree with you on the Russell Wilson. It was smart because they got him for cheap, but he might give him one okay year. I don't know how much of it.
That joker need to go to
Got
Denver.
him as an insurance policy too, because they were counting on Kenny Pickett. Now I don't think they're gonna just hand the keys to Russell Wilson if he go in there playing like he played in Denver. So they're gonna
if you look at his play, it really is not bad as the national media's narrative about him. I mean, it wasn't horrible.
Man, Russell Wilson didn't throw a pass. If I'm mistaken, they said something about his stats was like he didn't throw a pass past 30 yards or something like that. You know,
he didn't stretch the field.
Hey, I don't know. I wouldn't have gave that joker $1. You know, I'd have told him, man.
Who do you get though?
They really
get a quarterback. Who do you go after?
So, to me, it's plenty opportunity. It's plenty people. It's plenty quarterbacks in the draft that are coming out that you can try. It's some kids out there that they done gave up on, like Riddick. Riddick done gave up. They done gave up on Pickett. You know, to me, those are some quality quarterbacks that could be groomed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's some quarterbacks out there, and the boy at Houston showed you that you put a rookie, quality quarterback in a good system, good support. Absolutely. They can perform.
But see what you just hit on, Roderick, that I don't think we hold these coaches accountable. You know, they draft these quarterbacks, but they don't develop them. And I think that is the problem with a lot of these guys that's very talented. But look at what they put the boy from Ohio State. What's his name? The situation they put him in.
You talking about Alabama kid?
No.
Which
what's
one?
The guy? The Texans quarterback.
Oh, C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud. Look at how they put him in a system that complements his game. And they help develop him. They put him in a system, put him with in an organization that surrounded him with talent. I mean, come on, you got to do that. And oftentimes we label these guys bust, but we haven't put them in the best situation. Everybody talk about Patrick Mahomes. Yes, he's the GOAT, but look, Patrick Mahomes came to a situation where they were already a playoff team, and he sat a year behind Alex Smith. Yep. And then he came in. Look at everybody talking about good. Jordan Love. Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years, studied the system, learned everything about the system, and then he came in this year. They was labeling him a bust at the beginning, but this guy turning on now. They think he's the next best thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, like you hit on it earlier,
a lot of these coaches don't want to adapt their system.
Yeah,
to their talent.
Thank you.
Coaches they don't want to change.
Exactly.
That could be the issue in Pittsburgh.
That's the biggest problem,
And here's the thing I don't understand about the Atlanta thing. You paid Kirk Cousins that amount of money. You had a chance to go get Lamar Jackson.
They don't like Lamar.
Same amount of money.
Hey, within the coaches' rank, they don't think Lamar is going to ever win a Super Bowl.
But any of these black quarterbacks, that's the label on them. That's the label on them. And that's unfair because that's the way the league is going. You better wake up.
Yeah, I feel like the quarterback gets too much blame and too much credit. It's a team.
Some of that, you getting paid that much money, you got to take that lick, bro. Lamar went out there, thought he was Peyton Manning, and lost a playoff game. He should have.
He wasn't the one fumble at the 4-yard line. He wasn't the one get a penalty. That's
you know who you reminded me of? What's the boy that played for the Eagles? McNabb.
Yeah.
McNabb got in the league and he was tearing people up. Then he got in there and he started making some money, started filling his belly up with that doggone soup, and all of a sudden he changed. You know what I'm saying? He changed. He wasn't running the ball. You know what I'm saying? It was rough. No.
Like, and I just pulled up something for us. So Russell Wilson stats this year. Russell Wilson threw for 3,070 yards, 26 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Last year he threw for 3,500 yards, 6 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. And I mean that's not, especially this year, that's not bad. That's not bad.
It'll be decent enough for Pittsburgh.
I think the old boy just didn't like him.
He didn't. And that's the thing. Yeah. That's why I'm like, y'all talking about this man. Y'all talking about this man like he's garbage. No, this man putting up numbers like anybody else. But see, they have their picks, especially those white boys. They love, like, tell me what has the quarterback in Los Angeles done to deserve all the accolades that they're bestowing upon him?
Which one?
Which one you talking about?
The Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, Herbert.
Nah, I don't know. That boy good, man.
He may be good, but what has he done?
Nothing. Hey, to me, it's no different than the kid from the Buffalo.
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention next. They love you look at the difference in coverage of those guys versus even these black guys that are not put in the best situations, and how they dog them out, but still hail these guys as being the next great hope of the NFL.
Yeah, there's a lot of media bias, but now with podcasts and people like us, the more we get out there, we can level our own opinion on these type of guys. Like Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. They have their own podcast now. Now the media, well, the white media can't control the narrative on black quarterbacks as much as they used to.
Well, you should hear some of them black media. You know, they
say they all experts.
Yeah, Stephen A. is kind of hard on us sometimes.
Yeah, Shannon was rough on Lamar. Go back and look at his interviews after Lamar lost that playoff game.
He was.
Yeah, but it goes back to, like you said, the quarterback got to take the bulk of the blame, though. They get too much credit, and they honestly get too much blame, but that's how it's set up.
You getting paid all that money, you got to take that.
Yeah,
quarterback, you being the highest paid person. Best signing that I saw so far is the Kansas City Chiefs locking up that defensive tackle. To me, that's the best sign.
That was a good one. I think the Ravens getting
Derrick Henry.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you, my son made a good. He made a good point. He said, in order for Derrick Henry to be effective, he's got to have 200 to 250 carries. I don't see that happening with him and Lamar sitting in that.
No.
I don't see that.
They can't start the box on him now, though. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. All he needs to
respect the box.
Yeah, he needs space to be effective.
Right.
He gets more space. Oh, he's gonna be hard to stop.
Blocking and threat out the backfield. That's a lethal combination.
And their offense is north and south. Ain't no side to side.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of side to side.
That'd be a lethal combination if your ass was still in college. It's not in the NFL. Y'all act like, hey, what's his name? Gus Edwards? Gus Edwards wasn't no. I mean, tell me the truth. What did you gain? Gus Edwards and oh boy. I mean,
bro,
did you really
better than Derrick Henry?
I didn't say that. I'm saying, what did you improve?
I'm still optimistic, but I think
improve your running game.
I think
Exactly.
the Chicago Bears signing DeAndre Swift was a great move, especially if they stay with Justin. That could be a lethal combination in that backfield.
That could be good.
It just depends on their O-line has to step it up, bro. That's what
Right.
And that's the biggest thing. And that's the biggest thing with Chicago. And then Caleb Williams Caleb Williams is not gonna get out of break tackles like Justin Fields. I'm sorry. Justin Fields should have been sacked even more than he's been sacked, but he's gotten out of those sacks because of his build and because of his athleticism.
Yeah, the only thing Caleb has on him maybe his instincts to process plays faster, so he get rid of the ball faster. So, but
Caleb is a true thrower. He's not a runner, so you know he fits the narrative of quarterback. You know, the boy from Houston fits the narrative. They thought old boy from Alabama that went to the Panthers fit the narrative. And is he the one? I heard them talking about a quarterback that only played about 7 games this year, and he still was like 40 sacks or something, that he was sacked 40 sometimes. Who quarterback they were talking about? He only played a few games this year. And
he was sacked in the top. I don't know if it was 40, but I know he's in the top 5 at least of being sacked.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just going to a bad situation. Anytime you draft at the top,
you want the bad situation.
That's our NFL draft talk and all of that good stuff. If you're just tuning in, this is the Corner Store Podcast. We're now streaming to our Facebook page, so feel free to comment. We can see your comments, like, share, all of that good stuff. We're also on Spotify now, to where the audio will be posted there, and you can listen to it throughout the week and just to catch up on the podcast. The next segment is this is something I had a debate with one of my friends. It's something I've never done, even with my wife. Have you ever paid for someone you're dating or dealing with hair to get done? And if you have, what's the most you've ever spent?
I was mad as hell.
Y'all ain't never been no cake daddy.
Hey, I was mad as hell when this girl asked me for $20 to get her nails done. So you know I ain't getting no hair done. Yeah.
So what do y'all?
I can't stand for folks to ask me for money. You know, if I give it to you, I'm cool, but don't ask me for no money. You ain't doing no piss me off.
So back in the day, if somebody came to you and say, "Hey, you'll give me some money so I can go up to Lynn and get my hair done," would you have done it?
Nah.
Hell.
I can see that. And my alternative, me and my wife used to be when I first met her. I like, man, that's something I don't know because that's a part of grooming and hygiene. That's just like me asking, baby, you gonna get my hair cut this week? That don't sound right.
Hey, trying to soften that shit up. So your wife was pimping you. Hey, before you got married, she was out there pimping you out. You was out there paying for hair in Savannah State.
Oh no, bro!
Eating noodles, and you done bought her $200 hair.
No, bro. Even before my wife, chicks would ask me that. I was like, no, that's something. You better off asking me for the money and not telling me what you're getting it done for. Like, no, that ain't
now that I probably did that. I probably did that. But no, I would know. When you remember when the women were getting them braids, bro, and when they first started, man, braids was like $50.
Yeah,
they're like $50. Then that thing turned overnight, talking about some Africans. Remember they went through a phase. Oh, you got to get them real Africans to do your hair. Them Africans was hitting them up for like $250. Then it went from you got to get that good hair, you know, the bundles. I was like, man, I was so bad at my wife, bro. I told her people don't even wear braids no more. You out here spending $300 on some braids. Mad as shit.
Well, my wife cut her hair. I was happy, boy. I was like, shoot, that's another bill. That we ain't got to worry about. We can borrow brushes now. There you go. Yeah, man.
Nah.
So, any other trending topics y'all saw out there, or anything that popped up this week?
Well, you know, I like what the mayor of Birmingham stated, and it ties politics into sports. about this whole getting rid of DEI, and how he said if states start moving in that direction, then we may need to look at, encouraging athletes to go play in other states that, that's not in that category, that's trying to get rid of these programs of around diversity, equity, and inclusion.
You can't put that on them kids, man. I think that's a lot of pressure on them kids. That's just like that HBCU phenomenon that came a couple years ago. You can't put that pressure on them kids. Most of these people that are asking them kids to sacrifice don't have a kid that they sacrificed. I had this argument, I ain't gonna even say an argument, but they was talking about, I asked this lady asked me and said, why my kid didn't go to HBCU. And I didn't say I wouldn't send my kid to HBCU. I told her that my son had an opportunity to get a higher education. I chose it. Now, what I didn't do is look in there and see how the school operates. I looked at the ending product. I knew that when he graduate, this was going to be, he's going to have a better chance and a better opportunity. To put my kid in a situation, or somebody else to ask my kid to say, hey, don't go to that school because they have a stand on this, I think it's unfair for that kid and his growth or potential growth. You know what I'm saying? I understand why they do it, but I just don't like the pressure of putting that on kids.
But see, I think it's bigger than just that. I hear you, but at the same time, do you want to see let's say this school was sanctioning, they condone flying the Confederate flag. Is it, is that a place you want to send your child? And my thing is, it's just looking at, why send your child to a school that does not value them, but just value them dribbling the ball or catching the ball? And so I think that's the bigger issue. But
that's life.
Huh?
That's life, Edmund. We've always been in a situation where we want that.
You have choice. You have choice. There are a ton of schools out here. What we're saying is, don't go to those schools that benefit off of who you are as a person. Florida State, who are state institutions, and go to, I'm just saying right now, Georgia's not in that boat right now, but there's no telling. But go to a Georgia, go to an Alabama, go to a place that actually supports who you are and leveling the playing field to benefit the group of people that you come from that should be benefiting from these programs.
So, Edmund, why not ask black people to move from Florida? Why put that on the kids?
You can.
Why are y'all still in Florida?
There are many ways you can attack the issue. You can boycott, which has been done in the past, where conventions will not go to states that sanction these laws and policies. But you also, what we're saying is, they will get hit in the pocket when you not fielding a team that can compete at the highest levels. I guarantee you would think twice about passing these policies that's detrimental to these kids, that's drawing you all these millions of dollars into your coffers.
And I don't get me wrong, I agree with you. I agree with that'll be an effective tool. What I'm saying is, that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid when you're not putting yourself in that same situation. That mayor from Birmingham still going to his house in Birmingham, still paying taxes in Birmingham, still supporting Birmingham, whatever. And guess what?
What the people that led the Montgomery boys boycott lived in Montgomery. They slept in Montgomery. They lived there, but they were still willing to boycott the bus system that was marginalizing them, telling them they had to sit in the back of the bus. So what he's saying is, yeah, I live in Birmingham and I love Alabama, but at the same time, if these same politicians over in Alabama, Tuscaloosa, are going to continue to pass these bills that's detrimental to people that look like you and I, then don't send your kids there. Send them somewhere else until they get the picture.
I just think that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. when you guys are just affecting the much of the same thing just by staying and being resident in some of those particular areas.
I was just watching a documentary the other day. Many people felt like those politicians, I'm gonna say Dr. King then was dead wrong for putting those kids on the front line in Birmingham getting sprayed by fire hoses, skin coming off their body. But at the same time, it was effective to get to the end goal of getting parity in this country. And I think the same thing here. Protest is uncomfortable. You got to give up something in order to achieve something. So that's, I'm looking at it that way. It's not saying you can't go to college. There are tons of other D1 schools out there you can go to. Just don't go to schools in these states until they get
which one of y'all gonna put y'all kid on the front line today? Which one of y'all got an opportunity to go to?
For this situation, I will definitely influence my kid to go somewhere else.
My kid couldn't go to school.
Yeah, he would go. And then to go back, we got to give the kids more credit than that too, Roger. Mississippi State, a couple of years ago, top running back in the country, said he was not going to Mississippi State, or either he was there or he wasn't playing no more until the Confederate flag came down. Guess what happened? The flag came down.
Yeah, but it was. I know that story. Hey, Shannon, I know that story, and it wasn't because of him. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't because of him. It was a lot of pressure on Mississippi to take that flag down. From a whole standpoint, it was a lot to do with it.
I'll give you another example, Shannon. During COVID, we just talked about Justin Fields. Justin Fields led all college athletes demanding that they play football, and they salvaged that football season that year during COVID. Those were student leaders who demanded to play football in the midst of a pandemic. Guess what happened? They won out because their voices were heard.
Yeah, but the people that didn't want to play was the minorities. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, and I got everything that y'all saying. Everything is effective, but you're asking parents, you're asking kids to leverage their future based on political statements. You get what I'm saying? I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you got to pick and choose your fights. You know what I'm saying? And this take my ball and go home ain't always an effective tool.
Well, we're not saying take your ball and go home.
It might be
areas.
It might be I'm gonna take my ball and go to Southern Cal instead of Florida. Oh, I'm gonna take my ball and go to UCLA instead of Florida State.
About Alabama. Hey, I'm not talking about the kid that's going to Alabama. I'm talking about the kid. This Alabama affects everything in there. I'm talking about the kid that's got an offer to go to South Alabama. All right, he's borderline. He's at South Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So you asking this kid to give up a scholarship at South Alabama, that way he may not get picked up nowhere.
What can I say this right here? We ain't talking about the South Alabamas when you think about the grand scheme of things. We talking about Alabama. That's gonna hurt them. That's
the problem. Y'all. But he didn't say that. He didn't say don't go to the University of Alabama. You know what I'm saying? That's it. To me, that's the easy thing because most kids that are going to Alabama probably got 50 other offers.
Absolutely.
So that's the easy move. But I'm talking about the kid that's going to South Alabama. I'm talking about the kid that's going to schools that's really.
Those are the schools that's really in play anyway because of who they are. They the one making the billions, millions, and millions of dollars based upon those black athletes coming to their school to play football and basketball. So that's what we're trying to get to.
Yeah, we're talking about the revenue generators, the Power 5 conferences.
Yeah,
like the other one.
Money with these ideas. That's what y'all doing.
No, but this ain't just started, Roger. This
labeled. Let me tell you what happened. That kid gets labeled, and nobody wants to mess with him, including those blue states. You know what I'm saying? Y'all asking them kids to do too much.
But a lot of times it's student athlete led. A lot of times the kids that lead these initiatives.
When you move out of Jacksonville and Kelly move out of Jacksonville, then y'all got credibility.
Yeah, but we ain't playing football.
No, but you living in that god awful state. Florida got the highest concentration of white supremacist groups in Florida.
I can believe that.
Yeah, but even
coming
Emmitt
down
Smith
75.
is
What's the
wrong.
first thing you see?
They got
Hey,
white
what's the first thing you
supremacist
see when
groups
you're
in
in
Georgia
Florida?
too, though.
They got him.
Hey, what's the
It
first thing
ain't
you
about the
see?
mount. They got white supremacist groups in Georgia
Hey.
too. It ain't about the mount.
We sure do. Hey, they
Yeah,
they
but I'm
arrested
talking about.
a few years ago. They arrested
I'm
a group
talking
down
about.
in
Hey,
Livingston County trying to kill Obama.
hey, I'm not saying it ain't. I'm telling you, in the country, Florida has the highest concentration of white supremacist groups. Second is Montana. What I'm telling you is, this is a fact. Yeah, I'm not sitting there making this up. When I worked in the military, we kept track of stuff in our investigation section. That I'm telling you where they located it. What I'm saying is, when you travel down 75 and you leave Georgia and you enter into Florida, what do you see? One of the biggest Confederate flags in your life. You'll see that as soon as you come in. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna put that same pressure on that kid, you need to put that pressure on yourself. If not, leave them kids alone.
But if you leave it up to the kid to make their own decision, and you say, "Hey, I don't agree with it," blase, blase, this is why I don't agree with it, and then the kid say, "Okay, I understand. I'm not going there." That's how I think most conversations would go anyway.
Well, that's any normal parent like me. I've never told what school my kids going to, except for high school. Now that I did, I didn't let them choose high schools. But all the decisions my kids make, like my kids are fully scholarship, fully qualified kid. That means his grades good, his SAT scores are good, everything qualified for Division I football player. My kid decided to bet on himself and go to a JUCO. Now, when he announced that he was going to a JUCO, most of the people going to say what? He ain't had the grades. This kid had a D1 scholarship offer at Miami, Ohio. But I let him make his decision. He made a decision best for him and his goals. All right? Cool. We'll take whatever people think, whatever. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? So I let them make the decision. But what I would not do is bring my son to the table and say, Texas got two shitty senators. They governor ain't shit. I don't think you should go to school out there. I think that's unfair.
Well, I would always say it's deeper than that.
Well,
though,
Roger, you got kids.
Like Alabama, they got some terrible senators, terrible congressmen. They have policies that are going to impact the livelihood, not on the football field, but just in day-to-day life, period, with your kids on campus, that people can cause harm to them about. Like, this ain't just started, bro. In 1950, Missouri black football players boycotted because of racism on the campus and within the school.
And I agree. I'm not denying what y'all saying, but 1950 and 2024 is two different. We talking about two different.
Missouri in 2015, black kids, not the parents pushing them, but players on the team boycotted because of racial incidents on that, and they fired the coach because of it. They changed policies on it.
I'm not saying, I'm not denying nothing that y'all saying. You get what I'm saying? But to me, that's an easy cop out to ask that kid to sacrifice his future for a political statement when y'all ain't making that sacrifice.
I think the disconnect is I wouldn't force my kid, but I'll follow my kid with his decision making, which it appears these kids are doing out there who are in tune with politics, who are in tune with policies, who are in tune with the state of living in the state or choices they're making.
My kids are in tune with everything that you're saying, but they also understand that it's sometimes you got to go through the grind to get to where you want to be. You think that I
impact change though? How do you impact change?
You impact change to me from within. See, it's a lot easier. Most of the loudest people in the room are the weakest people in the room. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, to me, you are more effective by getting inside the system and changing the system from within. Being a teacher, police officer, et cetera, from within, than standing outside and throwing bricks. You get what I'm saying? You make change from within. So what you do is you teach that kid. These people, like my son right now is in Northeastern. All right, considered one of the most high academic colleges, in the northeast part of the country. I tell him all the time, that coach, them people gonna love you as long as you dribbling that basketball. What you got to do is take that same that skill set that you was blessed with and get everything that you can out of that. Education, connections, whatever you need to do to get inside the system to make change from inside the system. I joined the Air Force. When I joined the Air Force, man, bruh, I could count the people that I work with. We had 1,000 police officers. I could count how many cops that would look like me. They didn't bother me. They didn't push me. They didn't ask me to do nothing. I woke up 6 years in and I didn't have $1 in my pocket. I didn't have no education. And I watched people come by me rank, getting opportunities. You know what I did? I could have sit there and scream and say racism, whatever. You know what I did? I got in the system, and guess what I started doing? My first time I got to hire some folks, I got to hire 3 people. All 3 people look like me. You get what I'm saying? Guess what? Now they in a position where they get to what? Hire people that look like them. And that's how I believe that you work. I can sit there on the outside and I could have thrown racism out there. I could have did this. I could have did that. I'm not saying it ain't. What I'm telling you is I believe it's better to get inside the system and defeat it.
I agree, Roger. I agree with you, but I think there's another caveat. We must always recognize not only do you need people inside the system, but you need both. You need somebody outside the system. You need somebody inside the system. How you and I hate. I'm gonna use the civil rights movement as an example. You had Dr. King out here pushing, but you had somebody inside. He had to force, and create the environment for them to be able to act. So you need protest, but you also need people inside the system that can push the levers of power to get things done. And so you can't do one without the other.
Right. And then the word
it's a documentary, man. It's a documentary that on Black history. And the guy was talking about how hard he fought to sit at this diner. He said he had did everything possible, got beat in the head, everything to sit at this diner. And when he finally got to that diner, he said the service wasn't shit. He said, if I'd have known that I was gonna get my head beat in and all this for this service, I wouldn't have never done it. So you have to be very careful what you choose and what tactics that you do. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, Edmund. You got some people that's gonna scream from outside. You get what I'm saying?
You gotta look at the bigger picture too. It wasn't just about a hamburger. It wasn't just about a hamburger now, Roger. It was about accommodations, right? Yeah, I got.
How you gonna tell that man he was there?
I went to the restaurant was nasty, but now today you and I.
How you gonna tell that man he was there?
Huh?
I'm not talking about Roderick's opinion. I'm telling you what the man said.
No, what I'm saying.
I can find the name of the documentary so you can see it.
Harry Belafonte said Dr. King said this too. He said, "I think I integrated my people into a burning house." So there's still issues we got to work through. But it still doesn't change the fact that we still have the ability to go anywhere we want to go now, do the things we want to do now because of that fight and because of the legislation that got passed because of that. But yeah, we still got work to do. But you need both. We need Roderick in there hiring people to get people in there so we can hire more people to get qualified so that we can continue to open the door for others. But we also need people on the outside raising a stink to make sure to hold these people accountable.
The operative word is people. Of course, one person is not going to make the change. We need to do it as a collective. So not saying one kid don't go to Alabama because of this cause, whatever. We need kids. We need players. We need families all together to do it as a collective. That's what helps make change, not just one individual.
Yeah.
Y'all start with y'all seedlings.
Huh?
Y'all start with y'all seedlings.
So
hey, mine ain't going to Alabama right now. If
Mine
it's an
ain't.
opportunity.
yeah, one
Or
of
Florida.
Mine ain't
one
at
of
the
Florida's
University of
most
Florida.
well-known alumni, players, and all that just came out and spoke out against DEI and said kids shouldn't go to Florida until they change the laws here. Emmett Smith. So is he wrong?
After Emmett done got an education, after Emmett done got rich, after Emmett done went to the NFL, you mean to tell me Emmett didn't know there was racism in Florida before that? Come on,
But
bro.
they had DEI, they had integration back then. Leading up to now until this year is the first time they talked about cutting out DEI programs in the state of Florida and state schools not getting money because of DEI programs and stuff like that.
It's a setback. Don't get me wrong, Shannon. It's a setback, but it's not the end of the world. You get what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world. What I'm telling you is because they're getting rid of,
we have alternatives now, though. Like we have other options. Now,
you do. Just because they got the Rooney rule don't mean they're gonna be black coaches in the league. See, some of that shit is just out there. All them diversity programs, all this stuff. Tell me exactly what impacted them having a diversity clerk if they ain't gonna fight for you when you get there.
Now that's true.
Well,
now that's a whole nother conversation, Roger. And I agree with you there because a lot of these companies and schools made promises during the height of the George Floyd situation and haven't followed through and delivered on their promises. And so that's a whole nother conversation as well.
You know, it's a lawyer out there. It's a lawyer out there that's suing specifically minority or diverse programs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is suing everybody for that. For basically, he's using our tactics against us, and he's winning. You got a minority. Go ahead.
The thing here that is so disingenuous about that is that he's challenging programs that were put in place by the federal government to remedy the wrongs of the past, right? And my thing is, these are policies the government are trying to remedy because they did it. When it came to denying Black people the opportunity to get VA loans, to take part in the GI Bill, redlining communities, and denying us the opportunity to education, not finishing Reconstruction, and now these same people are using the 14th Amendment, the Equal Clause protection, to say that this is reverse discrimination. It's disingenuous. It's just like the case that was bought, and I don't want to get into the weeds with y'all on Shaw versus Reno. About racial gerrymandering, where they came up with this term strict scrutiny, where you can't use race to draw districts, but the minority dissent on the opinion stated that now how can we remedy the wrongs of the past if we don't mandate that we have these types of things in place until we get to a place where things are equal? And see, it's disingenuous. I hate when white folks are that's reverse discrimination. Y'all weren't hollering that for 400 years.
Hey, I think we're talking about the same thing. I just think we disagree on the tactics. You know what I'm saying? I just think that Alabama is one of the premier. You almost gonna get drafted. You're gonna have life-changing money if you go to Alabama. You know what I'm saying? We talking about University of Alabama. University of Georgia, LSU. These are decisions that parents are making to send their kids. They know it's racism. It's racism right here. It's racism at pretty much anywhere you go. Like some of y'all still buying hamburgers from a certain place. You know what I'm saying? What I'm telling you is, I don't, you know what I'm saying? But, it's some folks that do. I'm not mad at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at you. What I'm saying is you have to be very careful what you ask people to sacrifice for, for the bigger cause. You get what I'm, and I always believe that. If I rode the bus and them jokers told me I got to get on the back every day, I'm going to quit riding the bus. Now, if that makes change, I'm good for it. You get what I'm saying? I'm with that. But if I'm driving my Cadillac and you asking me, hey, bro, they ain't letting us ride the bus. You need to stop getting gas at this company. I don't think that's a sacrifice I'm gonna make. You get what I'm saying? I just don't get it.
That's a great point to make. That's a great point to make. You think everybody should have skin in the game. If you out here, you advocate for these things, you saying is people should have skin in the game to show their leadership on the issue.
Exactly. It's easy to put somebody else's skin in the game. It's easy to make decisions or chastise somebody when you ain't got nothing to sacrifice. It's easy for that. You know what I'm saying? What I'm telling you is that I don't take that serious unless you got some skin in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why I don't live in certain places. You know what I'm saying? I research it. I already know. Kentucky is not a place for me. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. I already know. Florida is not a place for me. You get what I'm saying? I'm not getting mad at Shannon. I'm not getting mad at Kelly. I'm telling you from the things that I stand principle on, I'm not going to those particular places. Now, I stay in Georgia.
Happens
You live in
over time,
Georgia,
bro.
I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, it's a big difference between Georgia and Florida.
Hey, hold on, Kelly, y'all. We ain't got that crazy. Y'all got the
It's a big difference between Georgia and Florida, bro.
Kelly,
Y'all got Margie
what is that mayor?
Y'all got Margie Taylor.
Exactly.
But she ain't running the state.
They got Margie Taylor.
She ain't running the state. Y'all got Gates. Y'all got DeSantis. Y'all got. I can go down a long list.
Y'all got. Y'all wilding
My point is racism.
Y'all got.
What's that new Cuban? What's that new Cuban lady y'all got down there? The new Cuban representative. Come on,
bro. They got a
bro.
long list of cuckoo.
Racism is racism.
We got one crazy. We got one crazy, and she up there in nowhere land. Ain't controlling that.
Isn't that dude Louis Gomer or whatever his name is? Which one we talking about?
Hey,
no, Louis Gomer is from like Texas.
Not Gomer, but
you just talking about the one you know.
The one who said they were thinking was a tourist event.
I know. Your job, you can work from anywhere.
He not elected no more.
I know. You can work. Hey, you can work from anywhere. Georgia.
Hey, all I know is Duval is blue, baby. We got a Democratic mayor, baby. First one
that
in a long time, baby.
That is true. That is true.
You choose to stay in that mess. I'm challenging all people. Until I'm telling y'all to move out right now. Pack your stuff. You all got this shit for $19 a day. Pack up your shit and move. I'm challenging you right now. That shit don't sound good, do it.
Man, your state just as red as ours, bro.
Exactly.
No, we're a little purple. Y'all regressing now. Y'all regressing. Y'all used to be the ultimate battleground state. Right now, y'all ruby red.
The only thing saved Georgia is Atlanta, bro.
Y'all hot red.
We got Atlanta. We good. As long as we got Atlanta, we good.
No. We don't give enough credit to. We don't give enough credit to Augusta,
Savannah.
Black Belt. You got a tenth of the population of Atlanta. Atlanta saved the whole state, man.
So y'all arguing which state is the most racist?
Florida. I done told you that.
Who has Rosewood? Who has Rosewood?
That wasn't a hard question. Why you still saying that? That's what I'm saying.
Who has Lake
I
Lanier?
Why you in Georgia?
Y'all have Rosewood too. Y'all have Lake Lanier.
Augusta blue.
Duval blue.
Y'all got the Redneck Riviera. Y'all got the Redneck Riviera.
Hey, well, I say it is real. We the only red area in this area.
Hey, Roderick.
Columbia County is the only red that voted for Trump.
They got the Redneck Riviera. All that panhandle ain't nothing but a bunch of rednecks who for Trump.
Hey, I done put a challenge on that. Hey, Mike, I ain't forgot about you. Tanner County, hey, you need to move.
You red.
Hey, you need to move, bro. They had 2 minority mayors, and y'all didn't come through. Y'all, I challenge you to move. Savannah, right down the road. Savannah blue, Hinesville blue, right down the road.
Hey, Michael, Liberty County blue.
Yeah,
they might be blue, but it's some other issues outside of the blue and the red.
Their future, move.
I don't know. If you're tuning in, this is the Corner Store Podcast. We're in a heated debate right now. We're getting ready to wrap up the show. But basically, we're arguing which state is most racist. All of us are from Georgia, but the current debate right now is which state is the
I don't know. Florida done banned. Even in Georgia, we haven't banned books. Florida done banned books. They done banned history. You can't teach African.
Man, y'all went out to Disney. You should have left when they went out to Disney.
Y'all went out to Disney World. That's crazy.
We ain't never left the All-Star game.
Hey, y'all could have left when he went out to Disney World.
Y'all mayor trying to shut down Disney. Y'all government trying to shut down Disney World.
You went out to Disney World.
But y'all ask them kids not to put out family. Y'all staying in that mess.
If we do move to Georgia, we still moving to a racist state.
Then less
racist. We less racist. We actually.
Hey, depending on what highway you on too.
By 2030, Georgia is gonna be a majority minority state.
Hey, you cross that Georgia and South Carolina border and see what it is, dear Roger.
I know he
right down the border.
Hey, backyard fence,
15 minutes from South Carolina too.
He talking about when somebody moved, he moved right between the red.
Right. Found the only red. He found the only red part of Augusta.
But I adjusted because I grew up in Tappan County. So
you talking about dark red versus light red.
Hey, Roger, you still live where your man's black.
I'm well versed on how to navigate.
Hey, Roger, your mayor's black.
Nah. Remember, I'm in Columbia County, so I can't claim.
Oh, you're in Columbia County, so you're not. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they still selling Trump flags. Hey, they still selling Trump flags on the corner around here.
They red. Yep, they red. Believe me, I used to be up there, so I know.
These guys are super red. They hot red around here, bro. They hot red.
We at the end of the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. The podcast will be up on Spotify, so you can catch the recap on the page tomorrow. We're also streaming on YouTube to try to get that going on the iRun24 Digital. Going to do it every other Thursday, and we want to hear from you guys. If you go to our Spotify page, you're able to leave a voicemail message, and we can play it on the show or read out your questions on the show. So we want to be in tune with you. If you live in Glenville, that's cool. If not, we welcome all feedback, all topics. We just want to come on, shoot the breeze with you, chop it up. Like I said, we're letting you in on our group chat at the Corner Store and doing it virtually with you guys. So if nothing else, thank you for tuning in. This has been a great show with Corner Store. Roger still lives in one of the reddest states on the map.
Purple.
Yeah.
We purple.
Well,
we got two Democratic senators.
Yeah, we purple.
We got two Democratic senators representing us.
We the reason why y'all president in office right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, we the reason.
We the reason why we have an infrastructure bill. We the reason why we got out of COVID. We the reason why y'all got a chip bill. We the reason why. Man, don't let me go down the list. We the reason why the nation was saved. Georgia is the reason why the nation was saved.
Two senators.
A black man and a Jewish man.
Wow.
That would have never happened in Florida.
Never happened in Florida.
They down there, they down there fighting Disney World.
Yeah.
They
going after Mickey Mouse.
He sending the world's community to Congress.
He get books out.
The DeSantis fans. We ain't fans of the DeSantis. We just saying Florida racists.
They out there shooting at the people that. Hey, them Haitians that's coming over, they out there shooting at them folks out there in the water right now.
Right. And they right here sitting and flying immigrants to Boston and other places around the country.
Hey, yeah, we accepting them Haitians. It's a vibrant history community right here in Glenville now. We accepting them Haitians that y'all can't take away.
Yeah, because the onion season coming up. The onion season up. Y'all gonna go rounding them up on the school bus.
Kelly, Al, and Hot Dog out there flying migrants to New York. You know what I'm saying? Tax dollars doing. Y'all tax dollars working. Y'all flying migrants in New York, you know what I'm saying? Y'all National Guard down there at the border.
Y'all
Good work, brother.
Y'all let the former president use up all y'all tax money on them court cases. What state he got the most indictments in? Use up all y'all tax money.
He got like 150 cows down there in Florida, though.
Yeah, Florida, y'all let him slide.
Y'all got a federal judge out there trying to let him off.
Y'all got a federal judge out there throwing out cases, wasting our tax money, throwing out cases, holding hearings to see who go together. Yeah, y'all go together.
Y'all got us beat.
In all actuality, he should. It's still what people don't understand even about that case that got thrown out. It's still a part of the RICO case, so that evidence can still be used. It's not like he threw out
come back.
He can't stand by itself. He's just like it's too vague. But he said he even opened the door for them to explain why they still want to try that case, and they can come back and appeal the decision if they want to. But the RICO case, he said
they can recharge. He said they can recharge. So he left him a gift.
Yeah, he did. Because I kind of wrote down what he said. He said in that case, he said that crucially, the judge did not dismiss all of the charges defendants challenged, which had also included the RICO count. Mr. Chile had filed a special demur for count 23, which was also solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer. But the judge found that there was a link between the Georgia Senate and duties to appoint. And then he says that the court's concern is less that the state has failed to allege sufficient conduct of the defendants. In fact, it was alleged in abundance, the judge McAfee wrote. However, the lack of detail concerning an essential legal element is in the undersigned opinion of the case. So he's saying their evidence there. He just said for him, they need more something else. It's too vague. They need to kind of tighten it up.
Hey, I'm gonna end it like this, bro. What the hell she was thinking? Not only her ass out there, she out there on paying out her pocket, cash on everything in 2024. You know, you're sleeping with your I ain't gonna say co-worker, but you're sleeping with your employee.
He's not. Hold on. See, that's what the media did a great job of doing. They're not employees. He's actually a contractual employee, right? It wasn't that she hired her. It was her subordinate. This is her equal. She just had here with me when I worked in government. The DA's offices are short when it comes to attorneys and experts, and so sometimes they go out and they'll pay for outside counsel to help them with cases from time to time. But that's all she did here because she went to Governor Roy Barnes, which was her first choice. He said he didn't want it because he didn't want to live with security for the rest of his life. He pretty much was the last person she could go to and ask if he'd take this case because nobody wanted to take the case. And so
I got what you're saying. If my contract,
this has nothing to do with, they're trying to say just because he bought her a hamburger, she indicted this man.
Man, them fuckers was out there on the boat, bro. Come on now. Let me tell you now. If you on the biggest case of your life, you're supposed to be crystal clean. That's the only thing I fought her. Not only is she paying stuff out of pocket, she cash flowing, and I got it. It may be her own money, it may be whatever. But what I'm telling you is you in the biggest place of your life. You know what I'm saying? The scrutiny is going to be there. This was not the time to do what you were doing.
What she was doing it before.
Hey, did you watch the testimony? That shit was shaky, bro. I'm on her side and that shit was shaky. Timeline wasn't right. 30, that man came in there with 30 visits in the area. Come on, bro.
And they said, I ain't gonna say it on here. Talking about the nickname on there was Grip something.
Right? Yeah. Come on, bro. Come on now, sis. You couldn't wait. You couldn't wait, sis. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be. you can't be calling out all these people and then you know got all that stuff in your past. But
yeah, I mean, I'm behind her too, but her past is sketchy. Even like with the Rico with the teachers and all that, I wasn't with her on that.
Oh, I didn't know about that. What?
Oh yeah. She took down a whole lot of teachers in APS, and a lot of people didn't like how she went after those teachers because I mean it was a little shaky to me.
Going after the rappers too, ain't?
Yeah, I mean Rome was being done, but it didn't rise to the way that they sentenced them and treated them. In this case, you got people that kill people that didn't get treated like these teachers got treated, and then she killed the superintendent was battling cancer. The previous superintendent of APS, she pretty much died. I think they worried that lady to death.
Did they reverse some of the?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. I just thought it was too harsh. So, my thing is, all those teachers were doing was they're trying to make more money. You underpaying them. They was trying to make more money because you were doing pay for performance and you was basing everything on test scores. And so these folks are doing whatever they need to do to maintain, because these teachers are dealing with so much in these inner cities that you have to fight through every day to teach these kids. Y'all have no idea.
Hey, all I know is
see how Georgia treat their teachers.
Nah, I tell you,
we got books.
Florida, y'all don't pay them.
We ain't banned no books yet.
We got books.
I'm gonna say this, and I might get cut off. I gotta run. I'm gonna say this: when at the end of the day, Florida's still the most racist state. So I'll see y'all next time.
Hey, stop bringing your kids to Disney World, then.
Stay out of Florida, then. Don't bring them to SeaWorld. All right, well, that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I guess the "What Were They Thinking" segment is, I guess Roger questions me and Kelly, what were we thinking when we moved to Florida? So, we're thinking the same thing about Georgia. That's what
what was y'all thinking? That go for you and Kelly, Al, and Fannie Willie. What is Fannie Willie? Don't let off. What were you thinking? All that.
She had needs. She said she had needs.
Fanny was kind of fiery up there, boy. Clyde said that turned him on.
Right. Fanny said, boy, hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. It took me out when I read what her nickname, what they said the nickname was on that phone, man. That took me out.
Hey, she ain't even get mad either. Did
right.
You saw?
They said,
all right, now we go backstage.
She's sitting there like this.